Thought for the day. Stop focusing on what you're not.
Welcome to 7 Minutes for Yourself. I'm Christina Aina, and I'm so glad you've joined me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. Let's take this time to reconnect with ourselves and improve our well-being.
In today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself, we discuss how to break free from the grip of imposter syndrome through the strategy of conscious leadership. Have a listen.
In the early years of my career, I questioned myself and I wondered if I had what it took to be successful. And at times, I'll admit, I played small and I discounted my gifts. In school, I discounted my intelligence and my intellect. In my AP classes, I didn't push for A's. Similarly, in professional settings, I sometimes discounted my expertise and my professional competencies. I went on to become fairly accomplished, and I learned how to embrace my gifts and how to keep developing new ones. Here are 3 things to consider if you want to overcome imposter syndrome. Take the compliment. Humility is important, but so is acknowledging when you are good at what you do. Own it. Don't be like, oh no, that really was nothing. No, it was something. Own it. Now, don't let it go to your head and think that you're invincible, but listen for the critique from those you trust and be open to always accepting the compliment. You know, one of the things that this brings up for me too is the fact that you can't take the compliment makes me wonder if you can accept when someone is showing you love and affection. And I don't just mean in a romantic sense, but how much do you love yourself such that you can say, yes, I love myself. I am worthy. I am lovable. I am good at what I do. And this is one of the 5 dimensions. This hits on 2 of the 5. The first one being know yourself. The second one being speak your truth. And the third one, inspire love, starting with self-love. So I think if you really start questioning, do you love yourself? If the answer is yes, then yeah, accept that compliment. Accept what it feels like to feel good about who you are and how good you are at what you do. I want you to be able to acknowledge that you are worthy of love. You can accept the compliment, and you don't need to say things that you don't mean. You don't need to please others. Don't believe in the meritocracy. Everyone who is more senior, more highly paid, better educated is not necessarily smarter, more effective, a bigger producer, or a great leader. Let's face it, relationships, pedigree, and other things totally uncorrelated to one's success in the role often determine who gets in and who gets promoted. I've read that there's a 10% overlap between confidence and competence. The most outspoken and confident person is often the least competent, but we give them the benefit of the doubt because they meet our beliefs and our unconscious expectations of what good looks like. I think for me, the most pivotal moment when I realized all of this was when I joined Spencer Stuart, one of the top 5 search firms in the world, and I was in my 30s, and I had been a vice president at Prudential, but I went in kind of eyes wide open thinking, wow, you know, these guys they've got bigger books of business, they're really impressive. I'm going to be interviewing all of these very senior people who, you know, I might be a little bit intimidated. And in my first couple of months of doing these interviews, I'm conducting the assessment of these senior leaders. I kind of walked away going, that's it? I mean, I was really not terribly impressed with what I saw. And these were very senior, highly compensated, mostly men. So I think we all need that moment where we realize that this is a game, and it was not necessarily designed for some of us who come from different backgrounds, right? So once you understand that, you can begin to play the game, and you make sure you are showing up buttoned up, that you are always demonstrating with confidence just how good you are. And enough with this imposter syndrome. Let that be for the people who really aren't good at what they do. but have been faking it, because there are plenty of those out there. There are real imposters, but I think it's fewer than half of the people who walk around talking about it are really suffering from it. I think you're better than you think you are.
That concludes today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. Today and every day with your kiddo is a gift. Enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in.